Alright, so I'm going to teach you how to build a base that's like this. It's pretty impregnable. Spiders can't climb it. Zombies can't hop inside. The only thing that really gets the crap beat out of it is this little bar right here. So you have to watch out for dogs and bears and anything that's kind of low to the ground. Basically those two things. They will beat up this bar. So you have to be really careful to make sure that it is reinforced very well. I like this particular base because if you, in this old version, this PS console version of 7 Days to Die, we don't have, extremely intelligent AI. It's pretty simplistic, so you could build a base like this and basically you're set forever. For as hard as the zombies get, you're set. Um, and the reason why these are so good, and there are some that are similar but also good, but the reason why this type of base is so good is you don't have to put spikes all around that are stealing your XP from kills. You simply don't need them. In fact, it's a waste of time. A lot of people will make it so that you can jump into your build, into your base, and in order to do that, you need these two little boop boop upright prongs so that you can kind of jump in and out of your base in times of disaster. So basically, I also like to, if it's going to be a larger size, this is not a very large size one, but if you're going to make it bigger, you're going to want some pillars on the inside to kind of support and make sure that it doesn't collapse. Because another thing I like to do is I like to put my farm up on top. So all my plants that I need to grow food, I put on top of here, and the pillars just kind of make sure that it doesn't collapse on you when you least expect it. And these also help protect you from like the spitter cop zombies and stuff like that. You can kind of hide behind these walls. But to be honest, the spit doesn't get through this too often to where it's like a really huge problem. But another reason like these little alcoves is because you could put little treasure chests. You could put your little um, ill-begotten gains from zombies in these things until you have time to sort them out. I normally like to build my base over a underground shelter. So like the well bunkers or the garage bunkers that have that whole big concrete bunker system underneath it are kind of nice to build over. Just because you have space for storage underneath there and it's already built for you, and you don't have to like dig and go through that whole process. But all I'm going to do today, this is kind of a stream of conscious tutorial, so there's going to be lots of mistakes. I already know I'm going to say dumb stuff. Just get used to it. So I'm just basically going to show you how to build this, but just a much smaller, condensed version because, nobody wants to sit here for 25 minutes while I show you how to build one this size. I would just suggest if you build one bigger than this, like I said, put some kind of support underneath so that if you decide to put anything on top, it just doesn't collapse on you and make you sad. Um, Basically, I think that's the only hype I have for this type of build, but it's pretty cool. The spiders can't climb up. You don't need these pillars here. I used to put pillars on this side if you've seen my old video. You don't actually need them. They do nothing but makes it easy for spiders to climb up on top. And obviously, you don't want that to happen. So it's better to build without these pillars here. I just put them starting out because it's a nice framework for you to add the concrete parts. So to start out, you just want to kind of figure out what size you want. I like squares. So I usually build 11 by 11s or bigger. This is going to be a little 5 by 5 because, nobody's got time for all that jazz for me to build a big one. So basically, to start out with, just figure out the size that you want and put a stack of 4 block frames in each corner just to kind of mark it out so you know. Because this thing that I built here, I didn't count right, so it's all uneven and not normally to my standards, but I just wanted to build something real fast so I could show you an example of the thing I was talking about while I build it. Secondly, you'll need these things called wedge tips. Now they're not the ramps, they're wedge tips. And you're going to need these poles, and that's basically, and then these concrete blocks to kind of just finish out the top. or to give yourself some pillars on the inside, or whatever you want to do. And that's basically the whole thing. So what you want to do these wedge tips is, you don't want the thin part facing towards you. You want the fat part. So that right there. Just put them down next to your frames. Flip them around, put them down. You want the wedge tips, the fat ends, to touch towards the center of those little wood frame pillars I built. Just continue doing that all the way around. The other thing I like about this base is the economy of materials. Like, it doesn't take too many materials to build it, so it's not like you're scrambling at the last second. I usually start out building them with cobble, and then I'll upgrade them as I go, because cobble's pretty sturdy. And like I said, the zombies don't normally hit the walls of this thing too much, so you're not constantly having to fix it. So then the next thing you're going to do is grab these poles, and you're going to want to put them on these frames towards the inside corner. So like that. Okay, you want to put them like that, and then just keep going till you get all the way to the other one. And then, of course, flip around. And you want those poles to be touching like those wedge tips. Just kind of kiss in the corners of those wood frames. And of course I hit the wrong button, so now I have to flip this all around. I told you there would be mistakes. I am too lazy to edit a video, so this is stream of conscious building. It's very cool right now. All the cool kids do it. So then flip it around. Oh, I went past it again. Don't you hate it? There we go. I done did it. If you hear a cat in the background, that's just my cat. He's nuts. He sounds like a little kid. All right. So then the next step that you want to do is the same thing. You can do it all the way around like this if you'd like for the second layer, but I like to, like I said, leave myself a little hole that I can jump out of, which makes my life much easier. So in order to do that, you would just decide where you want your opening to be. And you want this pillar, like you see that green build box, that hit box, you want the pole to be down in the center of that, not off to the side like that or anything like that. You want that pole to be right in the center, because it makes it hard for the zombies to hit it. Like, the zombies don't recognize it as a viable thing to hit, so they won't destroy it. And then build another one right next to it if you can squeeze it in. Yeah. So then that way you can hop in and out of your build without too many problems. And then, I hopped right out of it. Okay, and then continue on with the kind of wrestling ring look that you were doing on that layer below. Boom, boom, boom. You can do it! This is why I wanted to build a 5x5 and not a large one, because this would take me all day. I'm a little slow. All right, and then the next thing you do is just figure out how you want to top it off. Oh no, no, I did it. Okay. Just put it on that top frame, which will be the one that's 4 high. There you go. That's all you need to do. Obviously, you'd probably want to make it bigger. You probably want to fill this out on the inside. So vultures can get in your base, but they're not too bad in this version of the game. You usually don't have, not vultures, they're bees. I'm thinking of the PC version, which I don't even play. Just because I watch Neebs. Anyway, but yeah, that's all you got to do. It's really simple. It's really easy. Not too many resources, and then of course at the end you just take these wood frames off and you're set, man. You don't want to use spikes, so this is probably one of the most efficient bases you can have without using spikes to kill the zombies, which you don't want. You don't want them spikes. You want to be able to soak up all that XP all on your own. So there you go, a little tutorial on how to build these. They're really easy, and I hope it helped.